So, Donald J. Trump is the President of the United States, one of the most powerful people in the world. It's a pretty scary thought. And to be honest, back 18 months ago when he rode down the escalator and announced that he was going to be running for the presidency, when that was happening, I thought, no way this guy's serious. He's a joke, he's a clown, and he's trolling the country. He doesn't give a fuck about us. That's what I thought. And I still think that. But we're here, and he's the president, and it's official now. So we have to look at what to expect. And there's a lot to go into, because there's a lot he said he was going to do. But I'm going to go into the main ones that are right off the bat going to be a problem. So climate change is the obvious place to start. I mean, he doesn't even believe it exists. He thinks it's a hoax perpetuated by the Chinese. He said it multiple times, and I think he actually believes that. We have a guy who actually believes that as our president. That's just crazy. He wants to abolish all climate regulations, opt out of the Paris climate deal, more coal, more oil, so more pollutants. So there are already scientists coming out and saying, game over for climate change, it's done. If Trump does this, abolishes the EPA, does all that he says he's going to do, we're done. So pretty much it's going to be up to Asia and Europe to save the world, if there's even a chance of that. And honestly, if he does propose this legislation, there's going to be such a wave, such an uprising, and it's not just going to be in America, it's going to be all over the world, because this affects everybody. This isn't just about America. We now live in a society where you have to look past the borders. Like, I understand people love their borders, but you have to look past them, because we're in a time where it's needed. And that's the only way it's going to work, is by coming together. So climate change is obviously a really bad one. Next one's immigration. And, he wants to deport 11.1 million people. I'm sorry, there's no way he's going to get that done. He's too incompetent. He can't mobilize something like that. I think what he's going to do is probably continue to do what Obama's doing. He's going to continue deporting people. Obama deported over 2 million people, more than any president ever by far. So Trump's probably just going to continue that. I could see him banning immigration from certain countries. But I do understand the possibility. Like, he could try to actually rile them all up, go around and get all the illegal immigrants, and God knows what he'll do. Put them in camps. I mean, in Nazi Germany, that's all you have to say. That's really all you have to say. If you can't see the similarities between them, then you're either blind or you just don't care. So that's a big one. I still think he's going to be too incompetent to get it done, but we will see on that. And the last one is, everyone talked about Hillary Clinton warmongering with Russia, and I completely understand that, and I completely agree with that. But when it comes to Trump's foreign policy, I am very scared for the future, because there's a very good possibility that there's going to be some extreme neoconservatives. I mean, these guys are war hawks. They think we should go to war with Iran. Guys like John Bolton, Stephen Hadley, and maybe even Roger Stone, which is crazy to even think about. But these are the people that are likely to get some representation on his cabinet. And I'm sorry, there's a possibility that these warmongering lunatics are going to guide him into war in the Middle East. And I just don't want to see another Iraq war. That thing was a disaster, and Iran is much bigger than Iraq. So that really scares the crap out of me. I'm not even mentioning all the social issues, the discrimination against women and LGBT and Mexicans, and the list goes on. And I heard him say that one of the first things he's going to focus on is healthcare reform. What? The only thing I've heard him say about healthcare reform is we have to repeal Obamacare. We have to repeal it. And, the Republicans are 1,000% on his side on that. They already said it's high up on their agenda, so it's almost a done deal. And he actually came out and said a couple months ago that he will repeal every Obama executive order. So we have that to look forward to. And I know Obama wasn't the best president, but the ones he's going to overturn, Obamacare wasn't the best healthcare plan. He could have done so much better. It could have been single payer. It could have been so much cheaper. But he did help out a lot of people who didn't have health insurance before. A lot better than what we had. So that's one thing you can't even really attack Obama on. And the climate thing, that's another thing he's going to overturn. Again, a good thing Obama did, one of the very few good things. He's going to overturn it. All the bad shit's going to stay. Nothing will be done about the banks, and the TPP will get passed. Mark my words. But with this Trump presidency, I believe that there may be, just maybe, a silver lining to it. And just hear me out for a second. You've already seen across the country, there's people uprising, protest. They don't want this guy as their president. I told you he's so vastly unpopular. There's a good percentage of the people who love him, but the rest hate him. And that is exactly the way it is. That's why you're having these protests, and they're going to continue, probably. I mean, I've seen the reports on them. These people are talking about being out there for the next 4 years. Obviously, they're not going to be coming out there every day, but this is what the silver lining is. It may be that because we elected Trump, now if we had elected Hillary, likely what would have happened, there would probably have been some protests, some fuss for a little bit, but it probably would have died out. We would have mellowed out into the same kind of just complacency with government and not just getting on with our lives, not really worrying about what's going on in that realm of existence. But with Trump as president, everyone is forced to pay attention. Everyone, for the most part, knows what he said, knows what he's done, and some people, the people who support him, turn a blind eye to all of it. To all of it. They say, everything you've done, forgiven. Doesn't matter what you said. But the rest of the people, they think the exact opposite. They think, you're a messed up person. Because Hillary Clinton was so flawed as a presidential candidate and a politician, everyone was willing to overlook all of Trump's flaws as a person, as a human being. And all I gotta say is I hope it doesn't cost the country and the world, because we're on the brink, and stand up, be prepared for a fight on the real.